Hello everyone, welcome to Barca News. It is September 19th, 2024, and Lewandowski has already surpassed some of the biggest Barcelona legends, including Rivaldo, Ronaldinho, and Lionel Messi. Also, Flick has called up the two Ghanaian Wonderkids to first team training. And finally, Pedri has underwent exhaustive testing in order to try to prevent his injuries. We have a lot to discuss, so let's begin. Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. My name is Mo, and before I begin with the news, just a quick reminder to make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and drop a comment. All of this helps this channel continue to grow. Also, if you are looking for any Barcelona jerseys or merchandise, make sure you hit the Kickback, Goal Kits, or Fanatics. And if you are looking to place any sports bets, make sure you hit the Bet Us. All links are down below in the description. Now, begin this video with the great news that La Liga is officially back and Barcelona are set to play tomorrow against Girona in Montilivi. The first of many matches to come because, as you know, we have an incredibly hectic calendar to follow where Barcelona are going to be playing a match every 3 or 4 days. And I have to say, this FIFA international break was incredibly long. And I'm very happy that our team, that our beloved club, will be back to action tomorrow. Now, speaking of tomorrow, Barcelona have released the squad list for the Girona match. And these are the players who have been called up to participate in the match against Girona. Starting with, of course, Ter Stegen, Cubarsí, Alejandro Valde, Íñigo Martínez, Ferran Torres, Pedri, Robert Lewandowski, Rafinha, Iñaki Peña, Paulo Torre, Marc Casado, Pau Victor, Lamine Yamal, Dani Olmo, Jules Koundé, Eric Garcia, Cochen, Héctor Fort, Gerard Martín, Sergi Domínguez, and Guillermo. Now, as you can see, Ansu Fati has not been included in the squad list, even though he is nearing the final stage of his recovery. As you know, he was a little bit of a doubt for today's match, so most likely we will see Ansu Fati fit for the midweek match, which will be the first Champions League match against Monaco. And also we see Lewandowski and Dani Olmo on this list, which is great news because, as you know, both of them suffered some discomfort during the international break. Lewandowski felt some discomfort and pain during the match against, I think it was Serbia, if I'm not mistaken. No, it was Scotland. I don't know. But when he was playing with Poland, he felt some pain and discomfort. He requested a substitution. And we know Dani Olmo suffered that knock to his knee where he had to undergo medical exams to see whether he had suffered injury to his joint in the knee. Thankfully, both players have been declared fully fit and have been included in the squad list. And also we see Sergi Domínguez. He had suffered a knock during his last match against Barca Athletic, but it looks like he too has been declared fit. So he has been included in the squad list. And finally, Guillermo, as you might know him, Guille Fernandez, one of the most promising midfielders in the academy, has been included in the squad list for tomorrow in place of the injured Fermin Lopez, who suffered an injury during the international break. Now, speaking of Lewandowski, since we did mention his name, as I said in the previous video, tomorrow will mark his 100th match with Barcelona. And he's already impressing with his numbers because Lewandowski has actually surpassed some of the biggest Barcelona legends such as Ronaldinho, Rivaldo, and Lionel Messi in how many goals he has scored in the first 99 matches. Now let's look at the numbers of all these biggest legends in the history of Barcelona. We have Luis Suarez, who scored 88 goals in his first 99 matches. An incredible feat for the Uruguayan. In second place is Lewandowski, who has scored so far 63 goals in 99 matches. Then we have Neymar with 57 goals, Rivaldo with 57 goals, Ronaldinho with 44 goals, and finally Lionel Messi with 41 goals in 99 matches. An absolute amazing feat for Lewandowski. And of course, to be fair to Lionel Messi, who only has 41 goals, let's not forget Messi when he started debuting with Barcelona, or the first year in Barcelona, he was still pretty young. He was still, you know, learning to play in first division, plus not to mention he was not playing in the false nine. But when it comes to these other players, Neymar, Rivaldo, Ronaldinho, all these players played for Barcelona during their prime, and the fact that Lewandowski has surpassed them at an advanced age is an amazing feat. And also, let's not forget, Lewandowski came during a very difficult time for the club, and the fact that he's managed these numbers is still incredibly impressive. So this just goes out to all the people who kept saying, Lewandowski sucks, he's old, let's get rid of him. Well, the numbers say otherwise. Now, more news because Hansi Flick has called up the two Ghanaian Wonderkids to first team training, and those kids are, of course, David Oduro, the 18-year-old Ghanaian left back, and Abdelaziz Isa, the 18-year-old winger. Two incredibly promising players that Barcelona just signed this past summer transfer market, and Hansi Flick has called up both of them to first team training, and it's reported that Flick would like to count on both Ghanaian Wonderkids with the first team, of course, once they are done with their adaptation, because they still have to learn the way Barcelona plays. They have to adapt to European football. But once their adaptation phase is over, Hansi Flick would love to count on both players. And I have to say, I'm also very excited to see what the two of them will do with Barcelona. Now, so far, Aziz and David Oduro have not been able to play in a single minute with Barca Athletic, and that's because they are still processing, the club is still processing their work permits. So, of course, this is, something you have to process with the immigration services of the Spanish government. Government agencies take time. So far, their work permits have not been issued yet. And as such, they have not been able to play with Barca Athletic. But the club hopes that this process will be finished pretty soon, and we can hopefully see both players with Barca Athletic and eventually with the first team. Now, more news because Hansi Flick has reportedly convened a meeting with all the locker room players in order to fire them up, since we do have a hectic calendar that's coming up. As you know, Barcelona will be playing a match every 3 or 4 days for the next month, and as such, Flick convened a meeting with all the locker room players in order to, first of all, thank them for all the work that they've done so far, but also to motivate them and to encourage them to come together as one and push ahead, because it's going to be a very difficult next few weeks. So Flick firing up the players with some motivational speeches in order to make sure that all the players are coming as one and they can continue pushing ahead through the exhaustion that they will certainly face in these few upcoming weeks. Now, it's reported that Flick also got some feedback from the players to see how they're feeling physically, how they're feeling as far as the trainings. He wants to make sure that they are fit, that they are capable of playing at high intensity, but at the same time, he wants to make sure that they're not too exhausted. So Flick also going around getting some feedback from the player to see if there's anything that needs to be modified as far as the training sessions. And it's reported that the team are very happy with Flick. They consider him as a coach who is very respectful, very direct, lets them know exactly what he wants from them, and is a coach that comes across that cares very much about his players and about the entire team. Now, speaking of exhaustion, speaking of intensity, we do have to talk about Pedri, because it's reported that Barcelona have commissioned an exhaustive test of his muscles in order to determine a way to prevent his injuries and keep him at the highest performance level. Now, Pedri is a player that Hansi Flick heavily relies on and considers that it could be his, Spanish version of Jamal Musiala. Pedri is also a player that's very important for Barcelona, but he's also a player that has suffered a lot of injuries in the past, and as such, in order to better understand these injuries and to try to prevent them in the future, Barcelona commissioned an exhaustive muscular analysis of Pedri, where a biopsy was performed that contained muscle fibers, a sample of muscle fibers, and this sample was sent to a leading lab specializing in genetic muscle myopathic in Baltimore, Maryland, so here in the US. So that sample of muscle fiber was sent to this lab in the US, and to better understand Pedri's muscular structure, its potential for evolution, and how to treat in detail to improve the performance of Pedri, and also to prevent injuries. Now, these results revealed that Pedri would benefit from daily strength exercises, and with the help of Julio Toes, who Barcelona have hired in order to be in charge of the whole fitness program and helps with Julio Toes, they have come up with a special plan for Pedri that not only includes special exercises at the club when he's training with his teammates, but also it includes 3 additional exercises sessions at home where the club have set up a special gym for Pedri so he can continue working on strengthening his muscles, improve his performance, and of course, prevent that injuries. Now, so far, they have seen positive results as Pedri is currently at a very high level, both physically and in terms of game plan, and that has been very evident in the first 4 matches that we've seen him with Barcelona. Now, as you know, Pedri is currently negotiating his contract renewal with Barcelona because his contract does expire in 2026. Of course, Barcelona want to keep him for many, many years to come. Anyways, that is all the news for this video. There won't be any other videos. There wasn't much news today, so just this one video. Tomorrow, I will be making the post-match live analysis, so stay tuned to the channel. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, drop a comment, and as always, peace, Barça.